top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. This taken in at the goal line. And he's going to be out of bounds. Here's the run back. We'll leave him shy of the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
Purdy going to the air right away. Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
Second down, here's Purdy to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Play action, now Purdy. And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now fourth down.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Oh, big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
The Colts take over first and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now they'll change things around before the snap.
70 reach, 19 Lions.
Here's the Rams' second all-time leading rusher, Eric Dickerson, to about the 26 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
To throw, it's Manning. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
Gay's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Now here's Johnson. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On first, they stick with Foster. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Purdy's throw taken in by Wayne here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing here, Purdy. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first down carry for Foster. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Los Angeles. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
On the jump. Let's go.
They keep it in the hands of Foster. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Evan Ingram from 13 yards out. And the Rams have taken the lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field...
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now Manning. That's complete to his running back, Peyton. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action. Now Manning. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Manning now throwing quickly to the flat. Touchdown! Marvin Harrison, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts have regained the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They'll try the right side with Foster. And Juju Brents comes up for the stop.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Purdy now to throw. Short throw complete to Gronkowski. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Purdy's throw here taken in by Ingram. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Purdy. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Purdy. And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to pound it in with Allstott. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Purdy. They'll roll him out right. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Purdy. This pass caught at the 4. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. They can't hook up on 4th and goal from the 4, and this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. And now they're in the hurry-up. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the 3rd quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the 4th.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, there's an incompletion, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
A give, Foster running right. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 55 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job And then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Out of the gun, they hand to Foster. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Foster. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll go again with Foster. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They work now on 2nd and 9. This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Purdy looking to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brock Purdy, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is now 14-10.
14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Going to give it up the middle. Here's Dickerson. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Manning. That is caught. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harrison. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. There's the 8-time Pro Bowler Marvin Harrison. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Manning. Sliding out of the pocket. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing, but at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Here's 1st and 10. Manning to throw. He'll drop this off to Peyton. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45.
Back to throw. Manning. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
A big play looming on 3rd down. To throw is Manning. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. Charles, what a big drive late in the fourth quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. But I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the fourth quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he is going to be tackled at the 1-yard line. What a mess that was.
All right, partner, get that disapproving look off of your face. He did get it out to the 1-yard line. Yeah, I know. Wasn't the best play in the world. He's hoping his offense can bail him out.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's first down. Purdy to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, it's pretty difficult to summon up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
25 seconds remain. Here's second down. Here's Purdy to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And some more precious seconds come off the clock. This defense knows these need to be some big throws down the field. So they're just going to sit back and wait for those shots to come. And this one falls incomplete.
Here's Purdy. Short throw complete to Gronkowski. And he'll be brought down. Still a yard or two short even of the first down. So things looking bleak here. They've got to convert on fourth.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a fourth down.
Now Purdy connecting with Johnson, and he will have the conversion on fourth down. He's out of bounds as well to keep their hopes alive. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Purdy with one final shot here. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think hope was wearing one jersey and worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap.